Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE NXT on March 4th, 2015. And, you know, everything, it's like everything they did this week was it was that good mix, even though it's only an hour-long show. It was that decent mix of good promo time, followed by a little bit of action inside the ring. This week was definitely a promo-heavy week to set up potential feuds, and you saw that in their editing of the show, especially like right at the beginning of the show. You had Alex Riley trying to get a match with Kevin Owens, and I like this promo between the two of them because you have William Regal basically saying it's like you'll have only one choice. You either be your commentator like you've been doing and what he's been enjoying, or you be a competitor. You have to give up one or the other at this point in time. So does he want to go for Kevin Owens, or does he want to just be a commentator? And obviously, later on in the show, they had the bit during Baron Corbin's match where Kevin Owens is kind of just watching over him, and does the little spot where he just pours the water on him and tries to get inside Alex Riley's head, which causes him to go backstage and say he wants to be a competitor again. And William Regal's like, okay, you can do this, but you'll get Kevin Owens when I think you're ready. That came off really well. Just one of those aspects on there is like, oh, I want this guy. It doesn't fall under the aspect of I want to fight this guy, then you get this guy to fight. It just falls under is like almost a more. They use a more realistic tone when doing things down in NXT. It's like you don't get something you want just right off the bat just because you want this particular fight. I also liked his little bit with CJ Parker in there. That was a nice little added touch. It was a good way of setting up a match for the next week for basically. Alex Riley starting off his journey to try to get a match with Kevin Owens. You also had the promo between Sami Zayn, basically to give like he did a few months ago when they did the initial starting of him and Kevin Owens storyline. Basically, just him saying he's trying to gather his thoughts and everything on that aspect. I like where they're playing with this. In keeping him off at this time, it just gives an aspect of him trying to, find his place with everything going into the future, and it will be a nice little touch. It will be a nice little added touch to when he eventually does make his return over to the NXT side, and they definitely have always played the sympathetic character with Sami Zayn, and I do like that to begin with. So. All in all, they obviously did what they needed to do to potentially continue a storyline with him and Kevin Owens whenever he does return. It's also interesting to note that they actually have made a match date for Finn Balor and Kevin Owens. They did a little bit of a promo commercial where they make the announcement that it's going to be the March 25th show of NXT. So again, there, like I said, a lot of promo time. Not as much in-ring action, though. You did have a really good main event, which I'll talk about here in a few minutes. Other promo times in there. Right before you had Wesley and Blake come out there for their tag team match, you had Enzo Amore and Big Cass and Carmella doing a promo backstage talking about the words that they had said. So them trying and how they wanted to become #1 contender so they could get to Wesley and Blake. So it was another added area, and like not everything this week was done match-wise, which isn't a bad thing in all honesty. You had Solomon Crow's in-ring debut. I'll be honest with you. He definitely needs a little work, and that's the good thing about NXT. He wasn't overly horrible in the ring. I do like his look, his gimmick of the whole trying to take over NXT, like the whole hacking aspect. to his character, but his in-ring area, at least at this point in time, his moveset, I feel, needs a little bit of work, or it just hasn't grown on me in any way. I know it's just his first match, but it just didn't come off all that good with Bull Dempsey there. So obviously, hopefully, we'll see some growth from Solomon Crowe here in the upcoming weeks, and we'll see where they actually go with him and what kind of potential storyline they go along with it. Yeah, it did have also that funny moment with Tyler Breeze and the Rosebuds, where he was trying to, shoo them away with his selfie stick. That was kind of a little funny aspect to what they were going for with Tyler Breeze there. It'll be interesting. Actually, it's not really interesting to see where his next storyline is. It's still with Hideo Itami at this time. So we'll see where they actually go with that, because they didn't have any interaction this week. I wish they kind of would have. But that leads into the main event for the night, which was Sasha Banks and Charlotte for the NXT Women's title. And again, these two put on a really good match at a couple specials ago with the one-on-one side. They did a great job telling the story here throughout the entire match. They were playing off of the NXT rival Fatal 4-Way, where Charlotte kind of injures her back a little bit right at the beginning of that match in the Fatal 4-Way, and they continue playing off of that in this match itself. The two of them, in this case, you need no promo time between them going into the match itself. They did all the storytelling in the ring, which is another area that I actually like. You do need your promo time, don't get me wrong, inside wrestling, but when you can also tell the story inside the ring, that's another great way of going. And they did that with this match, and it was a very, very good main event from both of them, and it was good to see that they actually gave them a main event time for a show. So again, on that aspect, and they even had more build up throughout the entire show with the other NXT divas, like Alexa Bliss. None of them came out there, but like Alexa Bliss had her area with wanting to come after Sasha Banks, so you have the potential storyline between the two of them coming up in the near future because of what they had in the past, where Alexa Bliss got her nose broken and got injured by Sasha Banks, so you have a potential storyline there. You also had Emma and Bayley backstage with a potential of Emma's new persona, or a new outlook on everything. She's not maybe going to be that whole dancey, bubbly type person the next time you see her out there. So we'll see where they actually go with Emma, but it looks like they might have something with her and Bayley in the very near future as well. So we'll see where they go along with that. But like I said, it's good to see that they decided to give Sasha Banks and Charlotte the main event time. It was a very good main event from the two of them, and those two have put on really good matches in the past, and they do it again here. And overall this week, it was a lot more promo time that told the stories, which to some people is not necessarily the best thing, but it's definitely a necessary in certain cases to get your promo time in there to further stories, or even begin the stories to begin with. So overall, this week was a relatively good NXT. It probably wasn't. Probably a little bit lesser than some of the other ones that have come around, at least on in-ring action. But overall, was not a bad show this week. So that's my review this week for WWE NXT, and I thank you guys for watching.